A lot of our stuff's getting to the point where it's got to be replaced. It just can't be patched or repaired anymore. That is one of the main reasons why we would like to get this referendum passed, so we can update and upgrade our building's infrastructure. A lot of our main building's infrastructure was put in the mid-50s, and that has not been upgraded since then. What people hope for is about 50 years. We're pushing 65 years.
Definitely when you look back at a house, behind the public scenes, look in the closets, look in the chases for our pipes. They're in pretty deplorable condition at times and in places. What happens is basically everything's functioning normally, and then you get a report of a leak and it turns into a huge project because it went undetected. There's so many places for this piping to hide, essentially, where you don't see the cracks ahead of time, you don't see the residual leaks ahead of time.
This last week we found 3 separate areas that we have to replace several feet of pipe. A lot of this pipe is insulated, so we don't always know if we've got a leak or how bad a shape it is until we open it up. Just between those 3 areas, we're looking at somewhere around $8,000 of repair. So that's just 3 instances last week. One of the main things that would go away if we got this referendum passed would be our pneumatic system, which is ancient and outdated. Parts are getting very difficult to find, and they're getting more expensive because it is obsolete. We have 2 main air compressors, and they send air throughout the building, and that's how we control our valves and our dampers and everything on our air handlers to heat or cool. That whole pneumatic system could go away because we would go straight to low voltage. Right now we have low voltage to pneumatics back to low voltage. We could take that one step completely out. And taking care of pneumatics is very, very costly and very time consuming. You can calibrate something and in 2 days you have to recalibrate it.
I'd say probably one of our bigger issues that we're dealing with is our drain pipes. You can have a 3-inch drain pipe, but because they're 50 years old, there's 1.5 inches of sediment in the bottom, so you're actually still only draining 1 inch to 1.5 inches worth of liquid in that 3-inch pipe, which that causes a lot of our backups and things like that with the influx of water from everywhere. Another thing about the air handling units, the ductwork that brings your air to your rooms from the units. They were put in a time when they thought it was a good idea to line the inside of the ductwork with a insulation in order to keep the ductwork from sweating, which was a great idea, and its time was a little bit innovative. But what they didn't do is think about 20 or 30 years down the line. That ductwork collects tons and tons of dust, and that dust gets trapped in these ductwork. There's no way to clean that out with these insulated ducts. So new ductwork obviously is not insulated on the inside. They've learned from that, and the insulation typically goes on the outside or in a wall. That is huge for us. We do not have a very good clean air system. I'm an electrician myself. I can have a regular receptacle up on level 6 and the breaker for it might be down on level 1. I mean, it's literally just all over the place. Our job is I wouldn't say difficult. It is constant and it is rewarding. What it also is frustrating when you're working on some of the stuff that we have to work on. Not one of us mind getting dirty or getting elbow deep into whatever we're working on. Fact is, we don't want a Band-Aid. We would like to have good things in place to serve the students here at the Kansas Union.